Hooray! Hi everyone, it's a girl Lilibut Tams, also known as Gelawapazed, girl from Zambia. If you're new to this live stream, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you'll be notified that Gelawapazed posts a poka video. Thank you so much for more than 81,000 subscribers. Na totela sana. It's a bit early, but because I have meetings here and there, I thought I should just come on a quick live stream to just read what's in the newspapers with you guys. So this is the paper I got yesterday, the mass newspaper. And there's quite a lot of things to be talked about, and I thought let's just discuss it briefly before I go for my meetings in my constituency. Yes. Who's watching, and tell me where you're watching me from, and don't forget to smash the thumbs up. So this newspaper, the first person that was obviously highlighted was Godfridah Sumaili, and it says Sumaili a hypocrite. I love such newspapers that tell the truth. Sumaili a hypocrite, and then Mabumba sacrificed because he isn't in Lungu's inner circle. That's Mr. Changala. So we're gonna start with looking at Mr. Changala's statement, and then it goes over to the next page. And then there's also the United Nations World Food Program. They helped with 180,000 COVID-affected Zambian families. Okay, and then there's also Dr. Chishimba Kambwili. Morning, I'm also in Lusaka. I didn't carry my light. I'm somewhere in a different location. Normally I carry my beautiful light, but it was a short notice movement. Okay, so Dr. Kambwili says, don't approve 15 billion supplementary budget, Kambwili urges. So we're just going to go, wishy-washy on what's going on in the paper. So, Mr. Changala, I believe is this man. Yeah, he is saying that President Lungu has used Mabumba as a sacrifice because he's not in the inner circle. So let's read. It's by N.S. Chanda. Civil rights activist Brebna Changala has charged that President Edgar Lungu is inconsistent in his speech. And where does it go? And actions. Okay, Rebecca wants me to talk about what's going on in Zimbabwe. I will talk about what's going on in Zimbabwe. I have been ever so busy. Rebecca, send me an email, lilamutamstv@gmail.com, what you want me to talk about Zimbabwe. But I do talk about Zimbabwe. I will talk about Zimbabwe. Changala urges that former General Education Minister David Mabumba has been sacrificed because he is not in President Lungu's inner circle. Meanwhile, Changala accused Religious Affairs Minister Reverend Godfridah Sumaili of being a hypocrite. Amen. Yes, she is a hypocrite. On Wednesday, President Lungu dismissed Mabumba from his ministerial position after a video about the former minister went viral, in which he was naked and playing with his manhood. Commenting on the president's actions, Changala wondered how the head of state acted quickly when he failed to act on other culprits in his cabinet. I feel you. I mean, most of you people know that Dr. Chilufya has loads of cases of corruption, and he is still working. And even when he goes to court, he's always escorted as well. So Mr. Changala is right. I mean, why has Mabumba been fired? I've read lots of comments from people who've stated that, Mr. Mabumba is a very hardworking person, a man of integrity. Why did this happen? This is so wrong. They don't understand why these things are happening to him. And, Mr. Changala's comment makes sense. Why has Mabumba been sacrificed? It's because he's not in the inner circles of people who know what type of corruption is going on. And COVID-19 has faced a lot of corruption We know that there's not much COVID-19 cases in Zambia, but it's been made to look like there's many, many COVID-19 cases. Okay, so Mr. Changala says, first and foremost, the president acted timely to remove Mabumba from cabinet because what the man did is morally wrong. Yes, it is also against the penal code. But what the president has done, much as it is good, it is also a serious show of inconsistency of typical President Lungu. Yes, very inconsistent. Because the moment Dr. Chilufya had assigned $17 million to a company that doesn't even exist, a pharmacy, he should be fired. Definitely fired. He shouldn't even be working, but he is still working. He also adds that, he was the judge and jury and he determined the matter within 48 hours. There was no preassumption of innocence, said Changala. I feel you. Thank you so much for those of you who are watching. Okay, so the reason why that is touching is because we don't understand why the president can act so quickly on Mr. Mabumba, but he's never acted quickly on others. And then I came across, something that the president has also fired the ZNS bosses, the deputy. Yeah, he's been fired by the president using the constitution. So I've shared before on this YouTube channel where the president has said that, there are some people who are, going through corruption. He knows that they're stealing money, but he cannot do anything because the constitution doesn't allow him. But the same constitution that doesn't allow him, he has used it to fire 2 people. Like instant dismissal, no warning. So how come the president is able to fire these people? Yes, here it is. Lungu fires ZNS deputy commandant. President Edgar Lungu has terminated Zambian National Service, ZNS, deputy commandant, Major General Ali Kamiji's contract with immediate effect. According to a statement released by his special assistant for press and public relations, Isaac Chipampe, President Lungu replaced Major General Kamiji with Brigadier General Benson Miti, who he has since elevated in rank. Citing powers vested in him by constitution, President Lungu did not give reasons for terminating Major General Kamiji's contract. He thanked Major General Kamiji for the services he rendered to the country and wished him well in the future and endeavors. And in his letter to Major General Kamiti, President Lungu said, in exercise of the powers vested in me. So the president is using the powers vested in him to appoint and fire people, but he's never used his powers vested in him to fire Bowman, to fire Mr. Chilufya, Dr. Chilufya, possibly even fire Dora and the rest who are abusing the powers. Honestly, he can do better. So it means the type of firing in government at present by the president is selective. If you are not in his inner circles, like what Mr. Changala is saying, you get fired. So the president used, in exercise of the powers vested in me by Article 91 of, Section 191, Section 291, Section 1 of the Constitution of Zambia. So the Constitution of Zambia is selective, right? It only works when the president wants to do what he wants and he cannot fire others. We want the president to fire Dr. Chilufya. He needs to be suspended at least. I have decided to promote you to the rank of Major General and appointed you as Zambian National. Okay, so Mr. Changala has talked about the president not being consistent. How are you? Okay, Remy. Okay, sorry, the network was crazy. Okay, who else is here? Bernard watching me from Shatambo. Thank you. Yeah, so thank you so much for your good mornings, Carlos, Kenneth from Solwezi, Nicholas, thank you. Yeah, so we are just doing what the papers are saying, and then I'm going to share even a video later. On the same page, there's our performance will be judged by Zambia's next year. Lungu tells ministers. Okay, so meanwhile, Dr. Chishimba Kambwili also has said something. The National Democratic Congress President Chishimba Kambwili has called on members of parliament to reject the proposed 15 billion kwacha supplementary budget as it is not prioritizing the current needs of the Zambian people. I agree. In a statement issued by NDC spokesperson Saboy Mboela, Kambwili wondered what the supplementary budget would hope to achieve. Okay, I'll go to that one next. So it says it carries on page 7. I don't know why I lost network all of a sudden. Is there a page 7 here? Okay. On page 7 itself, where the story continues, there's also Nevas Mumba accuses PF government of using youths as bulldozers to clear political paths of a few. This is interesting. Before I go to that one, let me finish what Dr. Chishimba Kambwili said. So, obviously, there is a proposed 15 million supplementary budget, which is not obviously prioritizing the needs of Zambians. And Dr. Chishimba Kambwili said, is Zambia at war? For them to allocate money for production of bullets. What stimulus packages have they put in place for people and businesses that have been hard hit by the coronavirus pandemic? The bar owners, landlords who rent out such premises, the youth, women, and others. To cushion the lack of jobs and income, why not look for money to help all these people than to start producing bullets? Asked Kambwili. He noted that the country had over 60,000 unemployed teachers. I agree. On the streets, and over 40,000 trained nurses, because the government says it cannot employ them because of lack of money. The government has money, but they just don't, place the priorities right. And whoever is in charge of whichever, departments, they don't even know what they are doing. They're just enriching themselves, we know that. So why allocate 15 billion when people are suffering in Zambia? I mean, I've been doing some errands here and there to see what's been going on around Munali constituency where I want to stand. And believe you me, the roads are bad. Poor sanitation. Roads are terrible. Water is a problem. Electricity is a problem. Now, 15 billion kwacha for what? So Mr. Kambwili is right. This should be rejected. So he says, yet they make the supplementary budget for bullets instead of employing our jobless trained professionals, Kambwili said. What are the bullets for anyway? Are we at war? No, we are not. Just like Mr. Kambwili says. And then he also talked about the lack of electricity in the country. I agree. I've done a tour around Lusaka. The only beautiful side of Zambia or Lusaka is the shopping malls. When you see shopping malls, you think there's development in Zambia, but there's no development. Honestly, people are really struggling. When you go, places you go to, you'll be shocked. The shopping malls beautify Zambia like Zambia is a beautiful place, but no. And then he also says that they have also allocated 5.7 billion kwacha for debt servicing and have not given details of how that will be used. I think this money will be used for campaigns. I mean, debt servicing who? Okay, how much does the government owe local contractors and how much does it intend to pay them from this money? Some of them have not been paid from 2016. This is our government that doesn't even know what they are doing. I mean, 15 billion kwacha for bullets, now 5.7 billion kwacha for debt servicing, which we don't even know. We don't even have accountability. This is money, your money, taxpayers' money. Like I said, in 2021, vote wisely. If you don't have your registration card, get it now. If you know people who don't have, help them. Help them get the voters, their registration card so that they can register as voters in October. We are all registering as voters in October. Okay, so Kambwili said he was also disappointed that PF had politicized the milli meal at Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. Yes, on the milli meal, you know that the cadres, they're the ones who supply milli meal as well. I'm sure you've heard of that, and people are not allowed to supply. Why are they only giving PF MPs milli meal to distribute in the areas, and they are not giving the UPND MPs? I appeal to all MPs to refuse to approve this supplementary budget because it does not represent the priorities in our economy. And let me also comment on the by-elections where people are saying, oh, you know, the by-elections, the current oppositions, they are not really strong. The government is winning. The current political party is winning. You all know that people have been stopped to campaign because they are lying on COVID-19. COVID-19 is the reason why people cannot campaign. And you can see these 15 billion, what is the reason why they were able to even give bags of milli meal to people. I was told that people were being given milli meal and food supplements and, you know, a few hampers and money in order for them to vote for them. So it's okay. You can use the taxpayers' money now to do what you want to do, but people are not blind. 2021 general elections, you know what to do. Vote wisely. Make sure you go with your electricity bill, go with your voter's card, go with everything, all your bills, so that you're not blinded by what who you are voting for. Yes, Mobri Ngambi says, please, shall we all campaign in our to our relatives in our villages? That's true. We need to. So I love Dr. Chishimba Kambuli. He always says things as they are, and it's important that we look at those things. He said, you know, the Ministry of Defense had been included in the supplementary budget because the government was exploring ways of producing bullets locally rather than importing them. Do we need bullets to be, I mean, there's so many youths out there who have no jobs. Do we need bullets? You know, what are the bullets for? Are we at war? This is mismanagement of funds. He said 5.7 billion, which is 38% of the excess expenditure, would be dedicated to domestic debt services obligations, primarily on the increase on the interest rates. And then he also talks about expenditure of the same, you know, that will be drawn, allocated expenditures from COVID-19 bond, or there's even a COVID-19 bond. Chair, as you are aware, he was saying, as you are aware, government through the Bank of Zambia issued a COVID-19 bond of 8 billion kwacha. Yeah. This government is dancing in money. The maturity profile of the bond is expected to be at least 5 years, you know, of which, you know, none of the Zambian people will be helped. None of the Zambian people will be helped. So that's, you know, what's going on there. And then Dr. Nevas Mumba, he's also talked about how the Zambian youths should come and get their future by force. That is why I'm standing as member of parliament. Spread the word so that I should take Monali constituency. And I'm not joking about it, I'm serious. He said we should take it by force, not prepared to give them. And Mumba, on behalf of his generation, has apologized to the youth for consuming their future through unrestrained corruption and selfishness. He said this on Thursday when he awarded 7 MMD pioneers the Champions of Democracy Award to mark the former ruling party's anniversary of 30 years. In his address, you know, he talks about without courageous cadre of youths, no society and experience real change. He noted that today Zambia's youth remain cheated without a future. I mean, they are given 20 kwacha. Yesterday I was at Monalimo and I saw cadres. All they do is sit there. And then I went through different parts of Lusaka touring, and I saw cadres have got like small shelters, and they've put the flags of the chitenges of the president, and they're the ones who collect money at the bus stops. They are in charge, more in control than the police. And I'm thinking to myself, can't people find jobs or things to do? Will you be a cadre forever? Why not empower those cadres to do something else than standing there, putting your flag there all over? And if you dare pass with my red t-shirt, they will slap you. They will beat you up. Okay, Elijah says, hi, Honorable Lily, we really need to go out there and campaign to our relatives and family and friends in order for us to remove this vicious government. They will be out next year, trust me. Yeah, Remy Chongo says, bullets for what? That apparently they're trying to explore if Zambia can make bullets within Zambia without exporting them from elsewhere. I mean, I think exporting will be cheaper. We could obviously export them even for maybe even 1 billion kwacha than 15 billion kwacha they're saying that needs to be used. This is mismanagement of funds. Okay, Crispin says, we need honesty, integrity in public office, not experience. Go Lily. Yes, definitely. I will be very honest and I will change Monali, trust me. God will help me change Monali. Okay, so in his address, he talks about, he noted that today Zambia's youth remain cheated, without a future. He talks about how their generation is selfish, very selfish generation. Old people that still want to be on those seats. And for Monali constituency, I'm removing Nkandolo. So you guys have to choose between Honorable Lilian Motambo and Madam Nkandolo. You have to choose between the two. So tell your families in Monali, we are getting rid of all the old people. Our generation is selfish. He talks about selfishness. And then he also, Dr. Mumba assures the youths that his party was leading the way to create an opportunity for those wishing to participate in governance to take advantage of its youth policy, which has reserved 50% of all elective positions in next year's elections for the youth. This is good. It sounds really good. Yes, and then he also refers to Dr. Chekwera. But, in summary, he's just saying that it is important that the youths are encouraged. Now, let's finish with our Sumaili is a hypocrite. Okay, so Sumaili is a hypocrite, says Mr. Changala. I agree. The woman is a hypocrite. Not too long ago, the Minister of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs, Lawrence Sichalwe, who is also MP for Chawama, posted a pornographic video. Really? Really? I didn't know about that. Police told us then that they were investigating, but it is now almost a year, and we have not heard anything from them, not even a warn or caution statement. This is a country where some animals are more equal than others. We are in animal farm. Zambia is animal farm. Some animals are more equal than others. Where is that? It's not fair. So you mean the Minister of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs? Okay, so we have the Minister of Chiefs and Traditional Affairs, and the chiefs are asking for money from Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to build their palaces. Now I understand why people were saying that the government needs to pay for that. Okay, Jimmy Papama says, our leaders have become slaves of Westerners, European, Chinese. Sata was to visit Southern Province. Unfortunately, he got ill and was taken away. He said he will fly to from Livingstone to Livingstone. Vivian, watching from County Square. Vivian, I am your MP next year. Yes. Monali constituency. I've been doing tours around there. Loads of work needs to be done. Loads of work needs to be done. Agnes is saying, dear, don't be in politics, please. If I'm not in politics, who are we waiting for? Who are we going to wait for? We should wait for the old ones to keep on being Like Dr. Nevas Mumba has said, their generation is a selfish generation. They are very selfish. Okay, Carlos Mushindo says, my understanding for the by-election held recently, I went to my village where the by-election conducted and asked why you want PF councillor to win. And they gave me the following reason. I'm waiting to read that reason. Okay, something else is here. Kezia's co-accused denies being accomplice to assault. Okay, let's see the comment. And Yuranda Isaac says, PF will see if cadres and corruption will make you win next year's election. They will get a shock of their life. Oh, Dixon watching from Unza, keep it up, Honorable, we are behind you. And Unza students are behind me. Thank you so much. We're going to change the face of Unza. I saw Munali Secondary School, Munali girls, and I was in shock. The place looks like a bush and it's supposed to be a school. No facilities whatsoever. And I was thinking, we in 2020, a school looks like this? We're going to change Munali, trust me. Pastor says, looking forward, make sure you become a good leader. Yes, I will become a good leader. I mean, I can decide to live in England and eat cornflakes every day, but I decided to be in Zambia. Okay, so Changala says that obviously Mr. Mabumba has been sacrificed because he's not part of Lungu's inner circle. Changala said the same action should have been taken on the cabinet ministers that have committed other criminal and moral offenses. I agree. Since President Lungu claims to be consistent with the law, why did he not do the same to the health minister, Chitalu Chilufya? This is a minister whom the government wing has taken to court because they feel that he is corrupt. But it is typical of Mr. Lungu. He is inconsistent. He claims presumption of innocence on Chilufya. Oh, Chilufya is corrupt, please. Yeah, so Changala talks about, oh, so Sumaili is a reverend? Really? Reverend Sumaili was wasting taxpayers' money in the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs. Next year, this needs to be scrapped. We don't need a Ministry of Religious Affairs and Guidance because there's nothing they are guiding us. Okay, so, sorry, I lost signal, guys. So, Sumaili is a reverend? Wow. I don't know why the network keeps on dropping. She is wasting taxpayers' money. We don't need a Ministry of Guidance and Religious Affairs, because a Ministry of Guidance and Religious Affairs should make sure that churches don't have cash machines in churches. Do we need cash machines in churches? Anyway, so Reverend Sumaili defended Mabumba, asking those that had not committed sin to cast the first stone. Oh, please. Please. Did she say that? She used the biblical narrative about a Samaritan woman caught in adultery. Please. Please, please, please. But when the Pharisees took her to Jesus Christ, he talked about stoning. I don't know the role of the Minister of Religious Affairs in the country. That's what Changala said. And he says this is a country that has denied the entry of Zodwa Wabantu. She does not put on underwear. You know, Zodwa Wabantu is a very popular figure in South Africa who doesn't wear underwear. And according to Sumaili, Zodwa is more of a sinner than herself, who is a hypocrite. I mean, the thing is, what people don't understand about sin is that there's nothing like this sin is bigger, this sin is smaller. A sin is a sin. And Godfridah Sumaili, who are you to judge anyone? I mean, you said we should not judge the minister, Mabumba. So why should you judge Zodwa by denying her entry into Zambia? So, true, you are a hypocrite. She's indeed a hypocrite. But Sumaili never said anything when Sachalwe posted a pornographic video on the internet. She was quiet. So her duty as a minister of religious affairs and guidance is selective. You know, she picks on the people that she feels need spiritual intervention. So in this case, she intervened on Mabumba, but did not intervene on Sichalwe, and said Zodwa was a sinner. And yet, the other day I was at Levy Mall, and I was shocked at the way Zambian girls are dressing. And if we say you are a minister of religious affairs and guidance, then you are not doing your job. Because even in Britain, girls even dress up better. From what I saw, girls were dressed in short dresses. And I was like, wow, is this Zambia? Things have changed. So your duty post needs to be scrapped. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. So Mr. Changala is right. So the religious affairs ministry is gobbling money for doing nothing. I agree. And it is being led by one woman who is a hypocrite. I agree. Pongoma says, but honest speaking, I don't know the works of Sumaili. She is just a hypocrite. A coward, I mean, yes. Teddy Kaumba says, so impressed. Lily, we need brilliant, young, and brave leaders like you to eliminate selfish old leaders watching you live from Chilabombo Kopala. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Jacob Chikonda says, President PF and MP voting for you, Lily. Thank you so much. So, MP for Monali next year. Lilian Motambo. So this man is really saying a lot of things, and he also says that the ministry must be abolished immediately. Yes, it needs to be abolished immediately. It is just wasting taxpayers' money. The teaching, she said she is a weak teaching, by a fake pastor and those who have no moral standing. Sumaili is condemning a woman who has no underwear, but she's protecting a minister who is involved in producing pornographic material. Not even our Lord Almighty is happy with Sumaili. She is a failure. Hiding in the gospel. I love Mr. Changala. He's brave. I need to meet this man. Okay, so one more and then we finish. So we've talked about Mr. Lungu, is it President Lungu firing the ZNS? Okay, somebody is talking about taming your cadres here. We've complained about cadres. They need to be tamed, definitely. Killer Rafik Uganda. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's even a gorilla. Okay, so I just wanted to pick on the most important things. I saw something about registration of voters online. Don't buy that. It's a scam. I mean, not even America does online voting, or UK. It's paper ballot. And then somebody should tell you register as a voter online. It doesn't work like that. You can register by filling in a form. That's how we do it in Britain. You fill in a form, you post it, and they put you on the database. Not you entering your reg number on the database. That is gonna be a scandalous kind of thing. So if I were you, I won't participate. I mean, it's not compulsory. I saw it on their website. They're trying to do biometrics. We don't do biometrics for voting. Biometrics for what? Are you getting a passport? Fingerprints for what? I mean, wherever we go and vote, you just vote. It's ballot papers. Okay, let me see this. Sumaili must repent and resign, for she's indeed a hypocrite. Teddy, I don't know why my signal keeps going. Okay. The United Nations World Food Program this week completed a first distribution of cash to Zambians in urban areas impacted by the coronavirus, reaching some 180,000 vulnerable residents in Lusaka and Kafue. Oh, really? Okay, so they were giving 400 kwacha per month, $22. Enough to meet their daily needs. That's good. That's good if they did that. Okay. Wow. 400 kwacha to the vulnerable people from the United Nations. This should be by our government. Resolving Zambia's debt policy debt remains crucial. I mean, this debt has been there for long, and we keep on inheriting it. Whoever comes in power, they all inherit it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I know it's a Sunday, and I have some meetings in my constituency. We are busy today, but I thought let me just catch up with you. I've also shot a video about Mr. David Mabumba, a letter from his wife, and I will be uploading it shortly. Thank you for joining us, and we will carry on, exploring newspapers like this and talking about this woman. So my newspaper says MP Mutambo because people steal newspapers. So at least I'll be having newspapers every week so that, at first I wanted to do what the paper says, like people will know that I'm in Zambia. But now you know that I'm in Zambia. We'll be reading the newspapers. Okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Marvela says, please, you have to put a serious measures on tribalism because it has separated our nation. Yes, it's very important. So somebody's trying to call me. I need to rush now. I've been to Kitwe. I've been to all those places. I just don't announce when I'm there. Mr. Teacher, since we are friends on WhatsApp, send me a message and then we can plan how we can link up when I'm on the corporate belt. I just don't announce when I'm here or there. So thank you so much, Chris Chanda, watching you from Stage Lodge. Good job, madam. Thank you so much, everybody. My transport is here. I gotta go. I love you guys. Take care.